Hi guys! So this is a little bit of a different kind of video. Um, I'm going to talk about Eurovision. That's just it. I want to talk about Eurovision. If you are not aware of what Eurovision is, after the war, so like in the 50s, but the Eurovision Broadcasting Union or whatever it's called, I don't know. But they decided that, hey, a good moral boost and kind of just let's get together and be friends and have some fun. And Eurovision was born. It was just countries sending a song. It's still going to this day, and it's a huge event. I grew up watching it. For a time, I tried to convince myself that I thought it was cringe, but then I had to just embrace the fact that I like Eurovision and I like talking about Eurovision because Eurovision is upon us. It's this weekend, and and trying to get this video done before that is a little scary because I'm not good at making things happen. But I do want to talk about Eurovision, and I want to talk about it before the grand final on Saturday. And I'm just going to talk about the big five, and then the entries that were in semi-final 1. And then I'll add on to this video the entries in semi-final 2. This is just something that I've wanted to do, and it makes me happy to talk about it. Every song in Eurovision has its place in Eurovision, and you can feel free to agree or disagree with me in the comments. I do love to hear about it. So, let's get started. I'm actually going to start with the Big Five, which you don't know is the 5 countries that already have a place in the grand final. But we're going to start with the UK, which I have already here. It's Sam Ryder with Spaceman. I'm actually just going to play it while I talk. I actually really like this one. It just makes me feel really good listening to it. The music video is really fun. I love the melody. I like his voice. I just like this song a lot, and UK has placed very poorly for quite a few years now. I think it got 0 points last year. I don't think this is going to get 0 points at all. I really, really enjoy this song. It's very British, I feel. The next one is France. This one is sung in Breton, which is like the only Celtic language still used in the mainland Europe. And it sounds beautiful. I really love this song. It's so interesting. Both the visuals and the sound of the song. It's kind of like this mix of electronica with a lot of folk in it. It's probably one of my favorites. If you wonder what kind of music I like, this is kind of the music that I like. I think the staging looks fantastic. You can actually see the staging because they don't have an official music video. But it sounds so cool. I can't get over how cool it sounds. I can't wait to see it in the grand final. Okay. Third of the Big Five is Spain. Chanel. There's a lot of things that I like about it. The melody, a lot of the musical elements of this. It has very much of a Spanish vibe. It has a lot of dancing, which always I think looks cool on the Eurovision stage. It's not my favorite, but it's kind of a song that grows on me a lot every time I listen to it. And I know that this is relatively popular from what I've seen, and I can understand why. It has a very, like the bass and the drums or whatever, it sounds amazing. And the break and the what's it called? The drop. Like it has some really good bass, which makes you want to dance. And I wouldn't say it's a favorite of mine, but I really do like it. And now for the host country, Italy, with Mahmoud and Blanco. Brividi. I thought I was going to have a fun time just throwing my opinions out onto the internet. But it's really difficult to say that I don't like this that much. I think it sounds okay. It's slow, it's nice. There are things that I like about it. But I can understand how it can reach other people. And that's good. Like, different kind of music reach different kinds of people. That's just kind of how it is. It didn't reach me. And this is Germany with Malik Harris and Rockstars. I like it. I think he raps really nicely. This is another one that just kind of grows on me. The first one in this first semi-final was Albania. I think musically, to me, it's very messy. I do very much enjoy the fact that it very much sounds like they've used sounds from the culture, and that's always a plus in my book. But I just don't really like this one that much. And also, I did not like the stage show. The drop and the beginning of the chorus is catchy, and I do like the sound of it. Second out was Zeni, Eat Your Salad. It's Latvia. It's environmentalists with surprisingly a lot of sexual undertones. And I really do like the melody. I think it's a lot of fun. It looked like they had a lot of fun on stage as well. I don't know. I mean, it kind of has a beat that makes you want to move, and that's always a lot of fun. It didn't qualify, which actually surprised me. Even though I don't particularly like it, I thought it would probably qualify. It's almost like I think that Norway may have taken the spot at the same spot that this would have filled, which is kind of this strange song that's well produced but has some silly lyrics. Lithuania. Oh, this is a good one. If it can load. There we go. Monika Liu, Sentimentai. She's singing in Lithuanian as well. Artists singing in their native language is always a plus. It's always so fun to listen to. And I absolutely love this song. And I mean, on stage, she was really great. She had a lot of presence, and it's those performances that show that you can just be one person standing there, kind of moving while singing, and that's it. Otherwise, it's just a lot of glittering lights and it's a good light show. But like she had a lot of charisma and presence on the stage, which I think did a lot for this song. You can definitely tell that she is exuding her personality into this song, and it's lovely. She's really performing it. I'm really happy that this qualified. And now we have Switzerland with Marius Beer, Boys Do Cry. It's not my cup of tea. I think it's pretty. I think it has a lot about it that is nice. The stage show was less than stellar. I feel like he kind of had the opposite of Lithuania, where just him standing there got a bit boring to me. But like, I can understand that if this song actually connected with people, that's why it qualified, because it did qualify, which I was very surprised about. It was definitely not on my list for songs I wanted to qualify. It kind of has this lullaby feeling to it, which I'm not opposed to. I have nothing against the song. This is Slovenia. I'm not surprised that this didn't qualify. This is one of those that I kind of assumed wouldn't qualify. The thing is, this is one of those songs that I really want to like. I think it has a sound that I really like. But I just can't bring myself to like this one. I think the song is okay, but the performance, the stage presence is not there. The staging was really static. It didn't have a lot of life, essentially. Something about the performance didn't quite reach me, but the song I don't mind. I think it's a fun song, but it's Ukraine who were able to join this year. I didn't think there would be, but they are. And they're sending this gem of a song. I really love this. It's rap and folk, and I love it. And the chorus is sung in this singing technique that is famous for being used in folk music in Ukraine and the areas around it. And it sounds really cool. It's kind of like shouting, but you're still singing. It sounds amazing. The staging looks amazing. All the sounds, the cultural sounds. How can you not like this? The next one is Bulgaria. A rock song is always appreciated to have in the Eurovision mix, but I don't know. It's not the kind of rock for me. It's not very interesting to me in any way. The thing is, I don't have much to say about this. I just think it's kind of like a middle-of-the-road rock song. And I feel bad saying it, but that is how I feel. Yeah, I don't even have much more in my notes that I wanted to say about this. And now the Netherlands. This one is another one that I really, really love. I think it's beautiful. She's also singing in Dutch. I mean, whenever someone's singing the native language, I'm very excited about it. I think she has a beautiful voice. And she was another one that her staging was just her. She was just on the stage and sang this song. And it was still very captivating because it's a really good song. And she means it when she sings. It looks like she was kind of almost crying at the end. And you can see it in her eyes and you can hear it in her voice that she was almost breaking. And I really liked it. It's a really beautiful, haunting song. And this was the song that kind of just was sticking in my head after the semifinal had ended. When I went and I got to my computer and I was setting up to record and everything, this was the song that was going through my mind the whole time. I think it's wonderful. Now, Moldova. I love Moldova in Eurovision. This is so much fun. I get happy every time I see this. The song is about journey on a train, and the song, everything about the sound sounds like a train on the tracks. And it's just a lot of folk music, and it's a delight. I didn't think this would qualify. It's a song that I wanted to qualify, but I just didn't think it would. But it's absolutely delightful. A surprise to be sure, but a welcome one. And I mean, on the stage he had this, what I presume to be folk clothing, like cultural clothing, and it's lovely. I absolutely adore this. This is a Eurovision entry, so if I've ever seen one. Okay, it's Portugal with Maro. Saudade? Is that it? This one is really nice. It's calming. It feels comforting. I think she has a lovely voice for this kind of song. While it's not one of my favorites, I really appreciate it. Just something about it feels very genuine and honest. And I do think that really helps connect with people. I wasn't sure if it was going to qualify. And then the choir of women around her, like it's such a soothing sound. And then there's Croatia. It has very much of a country slang to it, and the more I hear it, the more I'm kind of seeing how this kind of sounds like an early Taylor Swift song. And I like it. I have nothing against it, but I don't know, it didn't really do anything for me. The staging had some interesting storytelling through dancing. She had a lovely dress, but it's not really much deeper than that for me about this song. It's very cute. But it also doesn't really go anywhere. It doesn't go anywhere interesting, at least. But it's very nice. I have nothing against it, but I'm not surprised that it didn't qualify. And this is Denmark. What do I say about this song? It has this really slow start, and it takes a while before it moves away from this. And it goes from this not very interesting ballad into a not very interesting rock song thing. And the transition between this slow beginning and the rock part, when the rest of the group come out and start playing their guitars and all of that, it feels very disconnected from each other, and it's not for me. It's just not. It kind of stays at this level the whole time, and yeah, I don't know. It didn't make me feel anything. I think there are parts of the melody that I like, but not enough to really care about it. And I feel really bad saying that, but I don't know. It's not very memorable. Austria. Halo. And I really love this one. It feels very nostalgic to me because this was basically the music I listened to in school. I think it has a lot of cool elements. It's very EDM. This is probably the first non-qualifier that I'm actually really sad didn't make it through. I think it was probably the staging that made it so that didn't go through. It was very static. In the music video, there is a lot more dancing and interesting costumes going on. While on the staging, it was just the singer and the DJ. And it was fine. It had kind of this LED ring around them and it looked cool, but for a 3-minute song, I want to see a little bit more, especially when it's a song like this one. I feel like it needs that extra oomph, but I don't know. And I also think like her voice maybe didn't do super well at that at the semi performance, which is, I'm just really sad that this didn't go through. Okay, so if you can just load. This is Iceland with Sister Meth Häkkandi Sol. And I love this. But this was the biggest surprise. I really did not at all think that this would qualify. But it did. And I'm really happy it did, because it's an interesting song. They're singing in Icelandic. Like I said, always a plus when people sing in their native language. It's really beautiful. Their harmony is wonderful to listen to. I believe the song is kind of an ode to the time of year when the sun comes back. And the atmosphere that this song provides is very different from... The thing is, it kind of giving me old Eurovision vibes. It feels very nostalgic and familiar while still being new. And I think it's something very pleasant about that. I'm really happy it made it through. So I'm actually recording this very short segment about Greece after I basically finished editing the whole thing, because for some reason I came towards the completion of this very long video. My gosh, I don't know if anyone is actually going to watch all of this, but anyway, and I just suddenly had this thought about where is Greece, and I realized I just completely jumped over it. But now I'm paranoid that I'm missing someone else, and I really hope I don't, because I don't want to record anything else. So let's just get started, because I really do like this song. I love the layers that they put on her voice. Kind of sounds ethereal in a way. Absolutely love the chorus. I don't think it's in my top 10, but I very much appreciate it, and I'm happy it qualified. I think the song is building up very nicely as well. Like the more and more instruments are being used, and like it started with nothing almost, just her voice and the layers that put on top of her voice. And now we are starting to hear more and more instruments as the song goes, and it's an element that I very much enjoy about this song. For the main event, well, it's Norway. They was so close that this didn't make it through to Eurovision at all. This one really do stands out. It's Yellow Space Wolves. I feel like a lot of people would call this a joke entry, but I don't think it is. A joke entry to me is when someone's just taking the piss. They don't really do that here. It's a very well produced EDM song. Just because the lyrics are a bit silly doesn't mean it's not serious. Comedy in song is just as much a serious genre as comedy in films and literature. My problem with it is that it can get a bit repetitive towards the end. I tried to break it out with this dance break, but I don't really feel like it's quite enough. But they have some cool layerings and little changes that just elevate it a little bit as it goes. I like this one, and I'm happy it did qualify. It's Armenia with Rosalind and Snap. But it's a very nice song, it's pleasant. It has been a lot of guitar songs in this semi. I'm not mad about this qualifying, but I don't think it's going to land very high. I may be surprised though. I don't know. Maybe it's connected with a lot more people than I think. I don't mind it. The staging was interesting as well. I think that helped a lot. Alright, so I've just finished watching the second semifinal and I made some brief notes, and I'm ready to just talk about all of these 18 songs, I think it was. The first country that was out this night, which was Finland. And it's rock, which is very typical of Finland. They produce some pretty good rock songs. It's really loud, oh my gosh. There we go. And this one did qualify. And I don't really mind that at all. It's nice to have a rock song in the mix. I prefer last year's entry, but this is fine. So it's not a favorite of mine, but I prefer this over San Marino. This is Israel. Israel typically, I think, tends to make it to the grand final. They didn't this year. The song is fine, I think. Compared to a lot of the other songs, it doesn't quite measure up. It has some interesting musical choices to it that I enjoy. It's kind of an interesting song, but it works better in the music video than it did live on stage. And that might be why it didn't qualify, because in the end, the live performance and the stage show is what counts. I like this part a lot. I like the flute. It's a very good dance break. And I think it sounds very interesting. And Serbia. I was so worried about Serbia. They went out early. They're third. And it's a bit of a more experimental song. It's kind of artsy, but I really, really like it, and I'm really glad that others also seem to really like it. I absolutely love this one. And she had attitude on stage. She's basically sitting the whole time, washing her hands. It's surprisingly catchy as well. Biti strava, biti strava, biti strava, biti strava. But I'm really happy that this one made such an impact on people. And Azerbaijan. I don't I don't particularly like this song. I mean, I have nothing against it. It was kind of forgettable to me when it was called, um, when I was calling the qualifiers. I literally asked which one was that when they called Azerbaijan, which I feel bad about it, but that's just how it didn't stick with me in any way. But it must have stuck with other people, and I totally understand that. There are parts that are very pretty that I like a lot, but the stage show to me was a bit boring. The song isn't super engaging. His voice isn't something that really stuck with me. So yeah, for me personally, it didn't have a lot going for it. So to me, it was a little bit of a disappointment to have this qualify over some of my other favorites, but that's just the nature of it. Now, this one, Georgia, is a bit difficult to talk about, I feel, because in one way, I really, really like the funk that this song has. I appreciate the outlandish weirdness that it's going for. I think that's also really fun, and that fits this song, I think. It doesn't really hit it for me. I want to like it more than I like it. It kind of stays on a similar level throughout the entire song, and it doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't elevate itself. It's missing something, I feel. Like I said, I enjoy the weird craziness of it. I think it's a lot of fun. In some parts, it reminds me a little bit like it could have been a Gorillaz song, just not as at that level. But anyway, on to Malta, which also did not qualify. It's a very easy to listen to kind of song. It's very pop. She didn't sing great live. She had a few misses, unfortunately. And the sound of the song sounds a little generic. It's a very nice message. It doesn't really do anything more than that. Not for me, at least. Didn't have the same energy that the music video has. And San Marino. I don't particularly like this song, to be completely honest. There are parts of the melody that I do enjoy, but overall I don't like the song. I also think that the stage performance in the national selection was a lot better than the performance they went with for the semi. So I feel like he maybe could have done better if he stayed to basically what he's doing on the video here, which I believe is from the national selection. I really, really like this one. He has such a lovely voice. It sounds really powerful. It's very pleasant to listen to. The song itself is very beautiful. So while I wouldn't call this a favorite for me, I do really, really like it. And I was definitely rooting for it to qualify, which it did. Definitely have a listen if you want to. He has a really good voice. But let's just jump right to the next one then, which is Cyprus. This is another one I don't have much to say, and for me it's kind of a middle of the road song. I think it's very fun and nice to listen to. In a lot of ways, I do like it. It's just not up there like with some of the other songs in the semi, but I do like it. I just don't think it's quite up there with some of the other songs. And the next one is Ireland. This one is, I think, my guilty pleasure for this year. I absolutely love this song. I think it's a lot of fun. It kind of gives me 2000s vibes, which is the music that I grew up with. So maybe that's why I really like this. But this is something that I can listen to and really enjoy. I think the singer has a lot of good attitude. She definitely had stage presence. I like the song a lot. As in, like, the lyrics and the melody and her vocals. I guess I can understand why it didn't qualify, but I'm still a little bummed out about it. And now we have North Macedonia. I absolutely love the artist and her entire look. I think it looks really cool. I think she has good vocals. But for the song, I'm not as pumped about it. Like with a lot of these songs, there are elements that I definitely enjoy. I think the bridge and the chorus are very catchy and the most interesting part of the song, but it's not enough for me to feel any stronger about it. And Estonia, which has gone full Western with cowboys and horses and very Western-like landscapes in the music video. He even has the voice fitting for this kind of genre. He toned down a lot of the Western elements for his stage performance, which I think was a good thing. And the thing is, this one was a big surprise for me when it qualified. I did not think that this would have made strong enough an impact to qualify. But I guess people really resonate and like the Western elements from this song. I do like it. I think it's fun to listen to. It's something a bit different. I don't think we have had much Western in Eurovision. So I don't mind that it did qualify. I'm not super into it, but I'm not mad about it. As for Romania, I think this is the first time that I'm going to be bold enough to say I don't quite understand why this qualified. Like, it's somewhat catchy, but it's so low key though. In one way, I feel like this needs a lot of energy, and it just doesn't reach that energy level that I would like to see from this song. I guess both the song and the performance is lacking something for me. And it's not at all that I don't like it or anything. It's just that I just don't quite get it. Like, I enjoy listening to it to some extent. Like, compared to a lot of the other entries, I feel like this is going to fall quite far down on the final score list in the grand final. This one is probably one of my favorite ballads this year. It's kind of my style in ballad. He has a really, really wonderful voice that I really like. The song, I think, is really beautiful. It's interesting. And on the stage, like, it looked fantastic. It was simple, but he carried the stage really well. I mean, he has the voice for it, and the song is I really like the song. I'm always surprised whenever I really like a ballad, because ballads are usually not that high on my list of favorites, but like this one made it to that list. I would have been quite sad if this one didn't make it. And now we're to Montenegro, which is another one that I would have preferred over some of the other qualifiers. I think it's an interesting song. It sounds very pretty. I feel the emotion from this. I think she does have a lovely voice, but I think it comes out better here in the music video than it did live. And I feel like her stage performance was very lacking. I mean, she has this really interesting music video, she has interesting costumes, and on stage she kind of just did not have any of that for some reason, which was a little sad to see. And another one that I'm really over the moon by, that it made it to the grand final. This song, if I had to describe it with one word, it's cool. The choreography, the song, his voice, his attitude, everything just is so cool. And I really, really love this one. Oh, it sounds so good. The whole atmosphere that this song creates as well is just mwah. Oh, that voice. I'm really glad to see this again in the final. It's Sweden. Everyone loves Sweden. Sweden has this ability to just write songs that people like. I can't remember a year where Sweden didn't make it through qualifiers. I think she has a lovely, like, a little raspy voice as well. And I think it's really great. It fits the song so well. The build-up from the verse to the chorus is really great. And now we have Czechia, or the Czech Republic, if you will. Well, I didn't get Halo on Tuesday. I get Lights Out. It's such a good EDM track. It feels a bit more modern than Lumix, than Austria on Tuesday. And I really like it. So this does something for me. It just makes you want to get up and dance. I think the live performance was really good as well. So I'm glad it qualified. We need some EDM in the grand final. Okay, so that was all 40 songs that I've gone through. It was a bigger undertaking than I thought it would be. I could have just kind of used that video where I take like 10 seconds from each song and just use that and basically react to it. I kind of didn't want to do that. I wanted to give a little extra time to each song. Like, this is just like a once in a year event. And I wanted to try it this way. And then we'll see how it goes. It ended up a lot longer than I thought it would. I'm still getting used to editing. I'm still learning what I should keep or shouldn't keep. But for now, I'm pretty happy with it. I feel like I got to spend some energy talking about Eurovision. I don't feel like I get to do that enough, you know? And if you did stick around, then thank you a lot. But by the way, I did want to just have a little graphic that basically just shows the countries that are participating in the grand final. Overall, I'm very happy with this. Are there songs that I'm sad didn't get it, and songs that I'm not super pumped about being in the final? Yeah, but like overall, I really like it. And like I said, I think every song has a place. There will always be people that connect with some songs, and you know, it's not all about me. So I'm not mad about any of these qualifiers. Overall, I got most of my favorites to the final. As for my top 10 of the entries in the grand final, I definitely have to think about this. But I'm going to pop up a graphic here about what I ended up with my top 10. It might actually be a bit different than what you think after listening to me rambling about Eurovision for like an hour. But like, I've listened to this song a lot now, and I'm going to listen to them a lot when editing all of this. Arrange a top 10 before I began this, I think it would look different than my top 10 now. It was a different video. I'm not going to do this kind of videos a lot. It's just that Eurovision is special. And yeah, thank you for watching, and feel free to leave a like. Feel free to tell me how bad my taste in music is, if you disagree with any of my notes, or agree. But thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Whatever video that might be, it might be anything at this point. And see ya! So, this video was ready to go Monday morning, but my potato of a PC was just like refusing to export this video, and I was struggling all day. So, and like eventually I of course had to stop trying and go actually watch Eurovision, so that was a wasted day. I decided to just tack on some post grand final thoughts, because why not? First things first, Ukraine won! Congratulations, Ukraine! So, I'm really happy about it. I think it's a really good song. It has a lot of elements that I really enjoy. It has folk, it has some edginess with the rap, it has great clothing with some interesting fashion, as well as traditional folk clothing. It has fun stage performance and stage presence. Like, it's a good song. I'm really happy with that. This was the winner of Eurovision 2022. Now, this is also a little bit of a symbolic win for Ukraine. It's kind of like Europe showing that they're with Ukraine, which is also very nice, and you know, it sends a message. Then the question is, can Ukraine host Eurovision next year? Ukraine says that they want to host Eurovision, and I also would like that, because that would mean that the situation has gotten better. It might be that another country is going to offer to host Eurovision on behalf of Ukraine in some capacity. So we'll see. It's still early days. For the other news, UK got second, and that's so amazing. Sam Ryder performed excellently. Is that a word? He performed really well in the grand final. It looked and sounded amazing. I gave one of my votes to him. I did. UK deserved some love, finally, after so long of things not really going their way. So this was a really, really nice. It was really nice that they actually got all the way up to second place. Serbia and Moldova, not fans. The juries were not fans of these two, but they surprised with a lot of public votes.
239 points! Woo! That's a lot of points! 225. Woo!
Especially Moldova, I did not expect them to get like close to like 250 public points, from public votes. I'm really glad that they actually managed to get top 10, because that would probably encourage more entries like that, and I think Eurovision needs some fun and a bit of a light-hearted song in the mix. And I'm also really glad Serbia got really high up. They got also in top 10. And speaking of top 10, my top 10 changed. For you, it's just a few seconds ago on this video, you got to see my top 10 list. I realized that it was going to change. I realized that as I was watching the performances. So I started to taking notes on my phone about which countries I actually would have wanted to have on my top 10. This became the result. Poland, UK, Ukraine, Serbia, Belgium, Lithuania, Estonia, Germany, Australia, and the Netherlands. I just thought that these countries did really, really well tonight. And you may see that, oh, France is not there. Where is France? I was really bummed out about France. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it maybe was technical difficulties, but they didn't sound very good. Some vocals were very loud, while others were very low. The entire musical sounded messy in a way, and overall it just felt like a bit of a disappointment, because I was really looking forward to listening to them in the grand final. I don't think I've ever had like favorites that have completely fallen out of being my favorites, and then the live performance today just didn't live up to that at all, and I'm so sad. I still love the song, I just don't think it was a very good live performance today. But on a more positive note, I like Switzerland a bit better. I can't explain why. Maybe I just embrace the lullaby feeling that this song has. I actually kind of liked his performance today. Otherwise, I don't have any major mixed feelings that has changed. My feelings about Azerbaijan and Romania remains fairly unchanged. In Spain, I still didn't really, I didn't quite get the hype about Spain. It was a fun song, and I don't know, it's not in my top 10. I guess I should mention Norway. They were not a jury favorite, but I think everyone expected that to be the case. Juries are not known to like this kind of music. I believe they barely managed to make it into top 10, as in they were place number 10. So good for them, good for the Space Wolves. Guess I should root for them, I am a wolf myself. That's so stupid. Overall, this was a very good year. I enjoyed very much a majority of the songs. I would say all of the songs. I don't think there were any songs that I want to say that I didn't like. There are only songs that I didn't like as much because they were all good, and they all performed really well, except France. I think it was a very good mix of genres. It never felt boring. It never felt like it was all the same. I think it was just a very good year. I think that's it then. Eurovision is over. We have a winner. We have a final score. It was a good show. I very much enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. If you're still watching, this is definitely a very long video. Leave a comment, leave a like, and feel free to subscribe if you like. In the next one, see ya!
And that it's real, and I can tell you it's as magical in real life as it is on television. So all I want to say is, Eurovision, thank you, and thank you to all the artists here. Oh,